everyone who exalts himself will be humbled, and he who humbles himself will be exalted. This is such an important lesson. We're going to look at a parable today that goes with this verse. But first, I just want to kind of give you a snapshot of today's teaching right up front. So let's assume that there's this ladder. Okay, and so the world is going to tell you, man, climb this ladder on your own. Do anything you can. Use all of your strength to make a name for yourself as you climb this ladder. Jesus is going to tell us that if we do that, if that is the way we want to climb the ladder, there's only one way to go once we've kind of made it up in our own strength, and that is down. So instead, Jesus is going to tell us, I want you just to kind of plant yourself on the bottom rung, and I will be the one to lift you up the ladder. So this parable is in Luke 14. This is Jesus speaking to lawyers and Pharisees as he's dining at a Pharisee's house. And as he sees them come in, he sees them taking the high place. Sees them taking the places of honor as they're trying to look the part and kind of exalt themselves. And this is what Jesus says to them. Starting in verse 8. When you are invited by someone to a wedding feast, do not sit down in a place of honor, lest someone more distinguished than you be invited by him. And he who invited you both will come and say to you, give your place to this person. And then you will begin with shame to take the lowest place. Verse 10. But when you are invited, go and sit in the lowest place, so that when your host comes, he may say to you, friend, move up higher. Then you will be honored in the presence of all who sit at table with you. For everyone who exalts himself will be humbled, and he who humbles himself will be exalted. So Jesus says, when you are invited, do not go and take the high place. Don't try to exalt yourself, make a name for yourself. Like, what if someone who is more distinguished, better than you, comes and knocks you off your block, takes that high place from you? Jesus says, in the presence of everyone with shame, you're going to have to go from the top notch down to the bottom rung. So instead, Jesus says, when you are invited, he says, go take the lowest place. And as you take the lowest place, Jesus says, then the one who invited you will come and say, friend, move up higher. Then in the presence of all the people, instead of your backslide, Jesus says, then you will be exalted. And this is a powerful teaching. See, God's not looking for us to go make a name for ourselves. He's not looking for us to go exalt ourselves and try to be this big shot. No, Jesus is looking for us to be a servant, to be okay with washing feet, to be okay with hanging out on the bottom rung and being faithful there. And there's the key. God's saying that if you're faithful on the bottom rung, if you're taking the lowest place, in due time, I will exalt you. And if not in this life even, I will exalt you with me forever. And that is the ultimate goal. And I think that's what Jesus is pointing us to here. But he's saying, if you will humble yourself, I will exalt you. But if you try to exalt yourself, you will be humbled. So God's not looking for us to go and put our own name in lights to kind of make a name for ourselves. No, God is looking for us to be okay with serving, pouring ourselves out just like Jesus did, ultimately to put his name in lights. Because those who exalt themselves will be humbled, but those who humble themselves will ultimately be exalted.